Okay, I think we're there to join, right? Okay. Um, thanks for everyone for joining the call. Okay, let's get started on today's class. Um, okay. To start with, first thing, let's discuss. Yesterday we discussed, right? We are going to do small project, small kind of demo on this three bucket events and Lambda, right? So let's try to do that today. But yeah, before that, let me show you how to create an AWS bucket. Where maybe you guys have missed the class, right? That yesterday class. So on the day we created this AWS bucket. So what is AWS bucket? Uh, what is S3 bucket? It's a kind of container. Okay, so the moment you ask AWS S3 is your storage service. Okay, simple storage service. Okay, so S3 is your storage service. But if you put every file, let's say think of your like your phone file manager. Okay, so if you put every file in the same folder, let's say for instance same folder, then is it manageable? No, right? It's a bit difficult for you. So that's why you will try to filter movies into separate folder, photos into separate folder, videos into separate folder, like that, right? Screenshots into separate folder. It's a bit easy, right? That's organization, better organizations. And also similarly in AWS, what happens is we were given an option to create a bucket. So let's say your project needs separate location, right, where you can store all your files and all, right? So that's why we were asked to like put, let's say if you have a project, I mean it's recommendable but it's not mandatory. You can use the same bucket, but without bucket you cannot put any files into this S3. Okay, so create an S3 bucket and try to put all your files into there and try to organize via folder names and all. So for now let's try to create an AWS bucket. Okay, so if you see the moment let's say the moment I open this console, this is my page, home page. Okay, so from here I search for S3, let's say S3. Okay, so I click on this S3. Okay, it opened this console. Okay, so this is the starting of a mastery bucket. So if you see this is in this screen, if you see this is your region where you currently are in. Okay, currently I'm in North California, but I would like to move to North Virginia. Then I will select this. Okay, so then it will automatically move to North Virginia. Okay, or if I wanted to move to the nearest region to, I spoke about this thing, right? So nearest region, so what is the nearest region to us? It's Mumbai. Okay, so if you see everyone everything here, Ohio, North California, Oregon, Mumbai, and rest all, so all these are very much far to us. So only region that is nearer to us is Mumbai. Okay, so that's why I was selecting Mumbai. Okay, so I selected Mumbai. It's a good practice. It's a good practice. But S3, wherever you store the data, it doesn't matter because I'm asking to store it in Mumbai, but it eventually go and store it in some other regions. Let's say you have how many regions here for now available? There are 17 regions that are not enabled for this account. That means along these regions, it has 17 more regions. But given it's a free tier account, 17 regions are not yet enabled. Okay, so let's say we have 40 regions or something, so it can put this data, it will try to replicate this data into one it will definitely put the file into Mumbai, but other two files it will try to put it into different regions. It's not up to us, it's up to AWS. So they will have some theory or algorithm in the backend, and they will put these files into those other regions. But definitely it will put one copy in Mumbai. Okay, so that's why I select Mumbai. Fine. Now Mumbai. Now let me try to create a bucket. So you have a general purpose bucket, directory, table, all these things. No need to worry about all these things. So most of 99.99% we will use only these general purpose buckets. Okay, so just click on these general purpose buckets and you will see this. Okay, now you can click on this create bucket. I think screen is recording, right? No, then right, it's recording. Okay, so then create bucket. Simple, create bucket. See, AWS region is Asia specific now. Okay, or let me try to change the region. Let me try to change the region and see AWS region is Virginia now. That means where depend on the base region you are in, it will try to create a sample file there. Okay, so I'm moving back to Mumbai now. Okay, so it's supposed to be Mumbai now. Okay, see, AWS region is Mumbai. Okay, fine. So now let's select the general purpose buckets. You have two types here: general purpose and directory bucket. I will let you know what is directory bucket in the coming classes, but for now, or mostly 99.99% again, we are going to use this general purpose bucket. And now bucket name. Okay, so it has given some instructions here. If you see, bucket name must be 3 to 63 characters and unique within the global namespace. It says global namespace. That means the bucket name you are going to give, it's supposed to be unique in the global. That means, let's say I created a bucket called Ravi once, then no one in the world who is using this AWS S3 can create a bucket name with name called Ravi. Okay, no one will be able to do that. So because it's unique. Okay, so now let's try to give some name. Okay, so let's say de. Always try to put small letters. De hyphen um let's go with the test bucket, right? Test hyphen de um, de hyphen demo bucket. I hope no one has used this name, so let's see. Okay, so copy settings from existing bucket. Okay, let's say you for now you will go and select some settings, right? Some settings for this bucket. Let's say you have one more bucket that has some settings. You wanted to import that settings into this bucket, then you can go and choose this bucket. Okay, you can click on this choose bucket, and if you have any other bucket you can just select it. Then settings of that bucket will be automatically applied to this newly created bucket. Okay, you can just choose that. For now I do not have anything, I do not want to select anything, so I'm not doing anything. Okay, so object ownership, you have two things here. So control ownership of objects written to this bucket from other AWS accounts, and use of access control list. Okay, what is access control list? This bucket, right? This bucket is created, and who are going to access that bucket? Is it publicly accessible bucket, or is it a private access bucket? So it depends, right? Because sometimes we have sensitive data, and we never want to put that sensitive data into publicly accessible buckets. So we wanted to put that into private buckets, something like that. So that's why if you for now you always disable this ACLs. Okay, all objects in the buckets are owned by this account. Access to this bucket and objects is specified using only policies. Okay, so any um, any object, I told you, right? S3 is an object storage. If you remember, in the first classes we discussed about S3 is an object storage. It could be any file. It could be JSON file, CSV file. It's a .mp4 file, movie, right? A video, right? So MP4 file, or a JPG format, a photo file, or anything. It's ISO file. Your OS, when you install, right, you need to store it in ISO file. So any type of files, AWS S3 will store it for you. But it will treat everything as an object. It's not partial to JSON. It's not partial to Parquet. It will treat every file as an object. Okay, so that's what we call it as an object. Okay, so object in this bucket are owned by this account. Okay, so all objects in this bucket are owned by this account, and access to these buckets and its objects is specified using only policies. I told you, right? Policies. What is policies? I told you yesterday. So you have a different users has different roles. I'm a tutor, I need different kind of policy, and you are a student, you need different types of policy. Those policies, who is going to access it and how they are going to access. For some people, let's say for Anusha, I will give that access as read only. That means she can only read that file, that's it. So she won't be able to write anything, modify the file. But to Deepthi, I will give her the right access as well, so she can go and write the object. She can modify that object. So I will specify those policies. It depends on the policies. Okay. Or if you enable the ACLs, if you disable it, this is the scenario. If you enable it, objects in this bucket can be owned by other AWS buckets accounts. Okay, access to these buckets and its objects can be specified using ACLs. So if you use this, okay, if you use this, let's say from another account as well, maybe in the same account, I will give you this policy and all. So that way I'm restricting you. But if I enable this, objects, these buckets can be owned by other AWS accounts as well. Okay, let's say this account is, let's say 3188, this account ID. But let's say you're coming with, you people have your own account, right? So then if I enable this, then you can still act as an owner for these objects. Okay, then you can decide who wanted to access, who do not want access, all these things. um, but for now, let's go with the ACLs disabled. Okay. And now block public access settings for this bucket. What is public access? If I remove this, okay, and put any object into this bucket, then this object is publicly accessible. That means anyone in the world uh, who got that link of that object, details of that object, will be able to access that object, which is not, definitely not a good approach. So that's why you always block all public access. Okay. And bucket versioning, let's say you uploaded a file. Okay, upload a file, and that file, if someone comes and deleted it, then you will lose that file. But you thought that I do not want to lose this file. Okay, somehow I need to maintain this file. Even though someone deleted it, I should be able to recover it, right? Let's say you have very very important file, and you never want to lose that. So in those cases, we will enable bucket versioning. So what happens is, let's say you uploaded a file now, file one. Okay, file now, simple file, abc file. That abc file, the moment you upload, it will create a version 0. Okay, the moment someone comes and deletes, the file will still be there, but you won't be able to see it. You won't be able to see it in the objects. You will be able to see it only in the versions. Okay, so I'll show you how that looks like. Okay, let's say someone comes and overwritten that file. Okay, overwritten file, but you thought that, okay, this changes, let's say Anusha uploaded a file and Veda has overwritten that file. Then later Anusha decided that, okay, the changes which Veda did is not correct, I want my original copy. Then how she can revert back to the previous version. So that I'll show you in a bit. Okay, for those things to happen, we need this bucket versioning enabled. Okay, bucket versioning. And default encryption tags. Why we need tags is, let's say you wanted to track, let's say this bucket is for my project, project one, let's say project one. So you are doing multiple projects, you are working for multiple clients for now in the same account. So let's say you wanted to track, this bucket is created for project one. So now you create for project one. Okay, project name, let's say demo. Okay, so demo one. Okay, for demo one purpose, I created this bucket. Okay, now in future, I wanted to track any cost or anything, any information related to this bucket, I can use these keys. Okay, I can use this keys in S3. I can use this keys, project name is double equal to demo one, then it will give me the details about the bucket which I'm using, how much storage it has, what is the cost of that bucket, and all these details. Okay, so we can use it. And default encryption. What is default encryption? Earlier it was, this option was not there, but recently this option was introduced by AWS. So what happens is, the moment you store your data, right, objects in the S3, so it will automatically encrypt the data. Okay, it will automatically encrypt the data with the Amazon S3 managed keys. So keys will also be provided this with this Amazon S3. Okay, and you have other options as well, server-side encryption, but you need to provide some KMS key to it, or you can have dual layer server-side encryption with Amazon AWS key management, and all. Okay, but these things are not needed, so we'll be going with the same first option only. Okay, so if you want to go with, you can go, but for that you need to understand what is AWS key management service. Okay, so the moment you understand AWS key management service, then you will be good to go and give this. Simple, that you will have some service called same service here, AWS key management service. There you are going to create an AWS key. Okay, so this concepts will be well understood by the people who aware of the concepts called cyber security and all, right? You have encryption decryption techniques, right? So then you will understand these things. Okay, but for now let's go with the default option. Okay, now bucket key. Okay, using an S3 bucket key for SSC KMS reduces encryption cost by lowering calls to AWS KMS. Okay, so what does it says is, uh, if you use a bucket key, if you disable it, it needs to use its what we call KMS. KMS in the sense like this key management service key, right? It's going to use it. So in AWS, what happens is whichever service you are going to use, it will try to charge from you. So if you enable your bucket key, this it won't go and use this SSC hyphen KMS. Okay, it won't do that. But if you disable it, then it will go in and use this SSC and hyphen KMS. That means it will cost. I mean, it's using extra service, right? If you use any service, it will cost you at least $0.1 it will cost. Okay, so that's why if you use it, it will cost us. If you do not use it, if you enable a bucket key and you provided a bucket key, then it won't cost us. Okay, um okay, for now let's disable this as well. And now advanced settings. Okay, object lock. So if I enable this object lock, okay, if I need to acknowledge this. If you see this acknowledgement, it's self-explanatory, right? Enabling object lock will permanently allow objects in the bucket to be locked. Okay, permanently. And you can't disable this object lock. Okay, or suspend versioning of for that bucket. Okay, you can't disable that object lock. Once you lock it, that's it, it's locked forever. No one will be able to change it. Let's say in future you have some kind of file so that you want it to lock forever, then we will try this option. But no, it's not advisable to go with the object lock. Okay, now with these details, I'm going to create my bucket. Okay, let me create the bucket. It's created. Fine, super. So that means no one has used this name, STDE demo bucket. Okay, so fine. Now let me open this bucket. Okay, now if you go and see this objects folder, this inside the bucket, you have these tabs: objects tab, properties tab, permissions, metrics, management, access points. What are these tabs? Properties tab. Let's go and see properties tab. Bucket overview, what is the region, what is the ARN, what is the creation date, and all details, bucket details. And bucket versioning, we just discussed, right? Bucket versioning, if you wanted to keep track of your files, then you can use this bucket versioning. Tags, you see, tags, project name, demo one. In future, if I wanted to find out what are the buckets that I created for as part of demo this project, then I can go and do this. Default encryption, you already know. Intelligent tied archive options and all will let you know. Okay, server access logging, that means log request for access to your bucket. Okay, so if anyone going to access your bucket, like whoever, it could be anyone from the AWS service itself within the same account or from different account, from anything, you can just go and do that logging. So in future, if you wanted to see if someone, let's say someone outside this someone an anonymous person trying to access your AWS account, I mean these buckets, then if you keep logging it, then you can find out, okay, who is going to who is trying to access these accounts. In that way you can restrict those things. Okay, trial events. Okay, trial events in the sense like whatever you do, let's say same account, in the same account we all seven are working in the same account. Let's say like Karthik is trying to do something in this account, then I never know. By seeing at this I can see that there is some change, but I will never know how this change has happened. But if you enable this AWS Cloud Trial events, you can see with the username who changed, what changed in this AWS account. So you can see those details. Okay, event notification. We'll let you know. Today we are going to do some demo on this event notification Amazon event page. Okay, we'll do that. Transfer acceleration. So for faster data transfers, you can enable this. Object lock, requester paste bucket. This is bit advanced concept, but I will keep it very simple. Let's say this bucket, right? This bucket data, um, this bucket data, you store the bucket now. Okay, in future someone from different account, let's say different account, is coming and wanted to use this bucket, come and you wanted to use this bucket, but who is paying money for storing this data? You are paying. Karthik is owning this bucket, okay, and he is storing this data. Now Karthik will pay money for this storage, but in future Arun came and accessing this bucket from the different AWS account. But Karthik found out why I am storing the bucket. Arun is not doing anything. Arun is not paying anything. Okay, then I need to find a way so that Arun can contribute to my cost. Okay, then Karthik can enable this. Then whoever is going to access this bucket, I mean a data transfer from this S3 bucket to different S3 buckets or something, then Arun needs to pay it. The moment Arun started using this bucket, then Arun needs to pay it. So that means requester pays bucket. Arun is requesting this bucket, this object in this bucket, then Arun's supposed to pay for that cost. Okay, you can see when enabled, the requester pays for request and data transfer cost. Okay, request and data transfer cost. And anonymous access to these buckets is disabled. Anyway, it's disabled. Okay, static website hosting. I think this is for the persons who are working on this front end development, something, right? So they can use this. They can enable this and they can use the website hosting and all. Okay, so those are the details of the properties tab. If you go to the permission tab, okay, so you already know block public access, which we did. Bucket policy, I will let you know. I told you, right? IAM roles, IAM policies and all will help you to block the access to the people like outside the account, or the different accounts. Let's say communication between different services, we need an IAM policy, IAM roles, right? So those things you can control here in the bucket policy itself. Okay, now access control list, you can provide the access control list and all these details here. But for now we haven't selected this. We have disabled this access control list. Okay, that's it in the permission. Well, let's see metrics for like all metrics, like how many objects here, what's the bucket size, total number of buckets and everything. For now it's everything is empty, so you won't see anything here. Okay, so management, if you go to management, there is lifecycle configuration. Okay, lifecycle, I'll let you know what is lifecycle configuration. Replication rules. So this you know, right? So AWS anyway going to replicate these things, right? So if you wanted to define any rule, let's say you wanted to create any replication rule, you can just go and do this. Okay, rule, source bucket, which one, limit the scope, limit this rule you will create. I think you done some thing on this replication rule, right? Some demo, I think, in the starting classes. If I correctly remember, someone has some issue, then we resolve that issue in that class. So for that, this replication will help you. I mean, backup or something, or replicating the moment a file got landed in this S3 bucket, we are putting the same file into the different bucket. If you remember, right? I can't recall the name, but someone faced that issue. But at that time, we were able to resolve that issue as well. They were able to do that. Maybe Anusha or Veda or Titi, I remember.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Hmm?
sir.
We were able to do that, right? So yeah, that's what this replication rule. So we can create this thing. Okay. Where is this management? Okay, replication and inventory configurations. Okay, inventory configurations, you can just go and create, but in which use case you are going to use this? Inventory means, you know, right, like a godown. Okay, so if you wanted to move all the files to your godown or something like that, you can use these things. Okay, so inventory configuration, I mean, you can put all the current versions or include all the versions and move back to some your godown. Simple. Think this in inventory in the sense, to keep it simple, you have any stock. Okay, let's say you received 10 cars. Okay, you won't put everything in the display. You will put only one car in the display and rest 9 cars will be in your inventory. Then the moment you need that one car which is in a display is got sold. Okay, someone got liked it. Okay, then you will sell that car, then you will bring the next car to the display. Okay, so in that way you will do so, like that, same thing. So inventory. Okay, inventory configuration, that's it. Replication, life cycle rules. Now let's discuss on the life cycle rules. And access points is for creating an access point and providing this link something to someone, so that let's say if someone, let's say, um, Deepthi want to access this bucket, then I will create an access point and give that access point to Deepthi, so Deepthi can come and access this S3 objects and buckets. Okay, so kind of creating an access buckets. Okay, now let's discuss on the management and the life cycle rules. Okay, life cycle rules. Let's say let's say you have an object. Okay, you have an object, a file, let's say file. Okay, let's say tell me in this way, in phone pay, what are the most important transactions for you? are the last 10 transactions or the last 100 transactions. Most probably the last 10 transactions are the most important things. Rest 90 transaction is good to have. Maybe in future, if you wanted to refer, you will go and refer. Maybe you might need the year an year back transactions as well. But maybe you never know, right, whether you're going to access those records or not. So that's why, if you ever requested this, I'm not sure in phone pay whether it happened or not, but in few apps, right, if you wanted the previous oldest data, you need to create a request. You need to raise a request via mail or some process you need to create. Then they are going to give that files to you, right, that data to you. Why that happens is, these recent 10 transactions, they will put it in the standard access. I mean, that means you can access at any time. That's what they feel. This last 10 transactions or the last 1 month transactions or something. But the before 1 month, right, they will feel that these transactions are infrequently accessed. Maybe you will access in frequently, but you might not access it frequently, right? It depends. Okay, so that's why they will put it in the infrequent. That means it will reduce the cost. In AWS, what this life cycle will tell you is, you have few things here. I'll show you. Hmm. Acha, okay. Let me show you a small demo. Um, 5 second. Soon AWS. Okay, so if you see here, these are the access. Okay, this is the standard access. That means any all the 10 transactions which you have, which you might access anytime, will be put in the standard. This standard IA means standard infrequent access. That means you never know. Maybe like last 1 month details, maybe you might wanted to access at any time, but sometimes you will never going to access it. Those things we will put it in standard IA, or you will never know. Okay, last 1 week data I will put it in standard. And before that, before last 1 week, that means earlier that, let's say 3 weeks out of the last 4 weeks, first 3 weeks you will put it into this standard IA, 1 week you will put it in standard. Because standard means you might access at any time, but before that, the first 3 weeks you might access, you might not access, infrequent access, you know that it's infrequent access. So that's why you put it here, intelligent tiering. But sometimes you found that on that month, in that month you did so many transactions, and you are unable to decide whether it's very important or it's infrequent access. You never, you won't be able to decide. In those cases, you will put it into intelligent tiering. Intelligent tiering, what it will do is, it will move your data from standard to infrequent access based on your access patterns. It will look at your access patterns, it will analyze your access patterns, and then based on those access patterns, it will try to put this data either into standard or either into standard IA. Okay, and one zone IA. One zone IA means one zone infrequent access. That means what happens is, one zone frequent access means, um, it will put it into one zone only. I told you, right, data will be replicated into multiple zones, so that you want, the moment any issue happen with your current region, I mean current copy, then you will have the other two copies, so that AWS will record from other two copies and give the data to you. But if you put it in the one zone, that means your data will be there in only one zone, and if that zone has any issue, then that's it, your data will be lost. These cases, this is very less cost, this comes very less cost. And when you will go with this thing is, let's say if you have a file, and that file, if you, even if you lost, you, doesn't matter to you, then go with this one zone IA. Okay, but mostly it's not recommendable, but you still have that option. Okay, this is Glacier instant retrieval. Okay, Glacier instant, Glacier flexible, Glacier deep archive. Okay, what is Glacier? Glacier, in the sense, I'll show you the image of Glacier. I think, yeah. So there are three types of glacier. It is giving some snow and this thing. So this is snow glacier. Okay. But this glacier instant retrieval, glacier flexible, and deep archive. What is this? You see, this is, let's say you wanted to retrieve it, and you wanted to, like, let's say you are not going to access it. Last year data, last year transactions, are you going to access now? Last year phone pay transactions, have you ever seen your last year phone pay transactions? Maybe hardly you have seen it, right? So uh, in that cases, let's say you wanted to access last year transaction immediately, then put that transactions into this Glacier instant retrieval. Then you will, they will be in the Glacier. Okay, it's, let's say, if you put it here in the Glacier instant retrieval, you can go and retrieve the data immediately. And if you put it in the flexible retrieval, that means it will take some amount of time, at least 1 hour. Okay, 1 hour, so that they will send these transactions as a PDF into your mail, to your mail, so you can go and access it. If you go with this Glacier Deep Archive, then they will send you these details within 24 hours. Okay, so the instant flexible deep archive is time. Instant means within minutes, within immediately you can go and access the data. Flexible means it will take some amount of time, at least 30 minutes to 1 hour or something. Deep archive means it will take more amount of time, 24 hours of time. So now tell me, you have started using your phone pay for the last 5 years. So for the last 5 years, last 4 years data, where will I put? It's up to me. So which is the best option do I choose? So instant, flexible, deep archive. Based on your usage pattern, let me know. It's up to, maybe someone is using it very very oftenly, last 4 years data, maybe for different reason, then that's fine. But based on your usage, let me know last 4 years, I mean last, not the last 1 year, before that, last out of last 5 years, the first 5 years data, where will you put? Whether in Glacier, flexible, or instant, or flexible, or deep archive. Definitely you are not going to put in standard, because you are not going to access frequently. If you put it in standard, still fine, but it will cost us. Okay, essay is very very cheap, that's okay, fine, but it's not ideal to put it in the standard. Why paying the cost, unless you're not going to use it, right? You're not going to use it, but you're still paying the money for storing it, right? So pay the less amount of money for storing it, and get it into standard, or get it, try to access it the moment only you require it. Okay, so that's why we'll put in this Glacier instant, flexible, or deep archive. So now tell me, where will you put this first 4 years of your phone pay transactions? Which is the best option for you? Come on, anyone? I hope you're following the class, so that's why I was asking the question. So if not, then that's fine, we can continue as it is. You have three options to put your data. Okay, where will you put the data? Fine then. So if someone asks me same question, I will tell that I will put this data into Glacier Deep Archive. Why? Because I never use my last 4 years data. Okay, so that's why I will put it in Deep Archive. Maybe if I wanted to use the data, maybe in future, let's say last year data I wanted to use it, then that data I will put it in some flexible or instant retrieval. Okay, which is less time, rather than waiting for the 24 hours of time. I'll put this in the this either instant archival, so that I can retrieve this as soon as I want it. Okay, so that's about this thing. Okay, but let me show you life cycle rules as well. Okay, so life cycle rules, you can create this life cycle rule configuration. Okay, and you can go limit the scope of rule using one or more filters, or you can apply to all objects. Okay, you can filter the using the prefix, right? Let's say you have so many objects in your bucket. Okay, but you do not want to apply this life cycle rule for all the objects. Let's say you have 10 objects, but out of those 10 objects you wanted to apply these rules for only few objects, let's say 5 objects. Then you can use this prefix use suffix in your role. uh, so you can use this prefix and all. Okay, or you can apply to all objects in the buckets, it's up to you. Okay, so I will limit the scope to prefix. Then specify maximum object size and minimum object size, you can specify those things. So you can have GB, still GB. Okay, so you can just go and put some, okay, some random number. Definitely this is not correct number, but yeah, so yeah, you can do that. Okay, the transition current changes version of object, I will tell you current version, non-current version. Okay, so that I will show you how it will happen. Let's say current version of objects, or let's say non-current. Okay, you had both, or expired current version, or permanent delete non-current versions of object, delete expired object, delete markers. So we will see these things when the moment you see this um, versioning demo. Okay, then you can understand these things. Okay, for now let's go with this transition current versions. Okay, before doing this, let's try to do some demo. Okay, so I enabled my versioning, but how to double confirm that? Go to properties, and you see bucket versioning, right? Bucket versioning enabled. Perfect, my bucket versioning is enabled. Now I'm safe in this bucket. Okay, let's go and create a file. Okay, let me create a file. Okay, version 0. Okay, let me save this, save it somewhere on the desktop. Okay, file, abc file. Okay, abc is the file name, .txt. Okay, I save this file. Now let me go and upload this file. Fine, I'm upload this file. Okay, fine, cool, super. Now if I open this and go to versions, this is my current version. If you see, this is the current version. Okay, if I do not have the versioning enabled, then I will won't be able to see this versioning here. Okay, this is enabled, so that's why I was able to see versioning here. Maybe you can try without a version and see how a versioning looks like here, but for now I have a version, so that's why I was able to see the versioning here. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so now abc text. Now I will change something here. I'll add as a version 2, version 1. Okay, so I'll save it, but before that let me try to open this file. Okay, so you see version 0, right? Version 0. Now what I will do is I will upload one more file, abc, same file name, same file name. Okay, so abc, just open, that's it. So will it replace the previous version or not? Can anyone let me know? Will it replace the previous value, version 0?
Yes, sir.
It will replace. So if I go and open this now, you will see version 1, but earlier it's supposed to be version 0, but now the value got replaced, right? Replaced. Why it replaced? Because same name, apc.txt, you uploading, it won't ask you that okay, you already have a file name, do you want to replace or do you want to skip something. It won't ask that, it will just go and replace it, that's it. So that's why versioning is needed. Now if you go and see here, let's say you wanted to access the previous version. What is that previous version? So that you can go do it via here. So click on this. This is the current version. If you open the current version, let me close both the versions here. Okay, so if you go and open the current version, okay, select the current version and click on open. This is the version 1, is the current version. And if you click on the previous version, okay, if you click on open, then you will be able to see the previous version, right? You still have your previous version. Okay, in that way, if someone accidentally deletes your, replaces your file, you'll still be able to access it. Okay, now let's try to delete the file. Okay, let's go here, go and delete it. Okay, I deleted an object. Fine, what happened? Hmm. Deleted. Now there is no files, no files. Then you told me that in case someone deleted it, how I can still access it with the help of versioning. But now I'm unable to see that file. Then where is that file? How I will be able to access it? Okay, simple. If you know that name, right? This version, right? This is the name, right? So just try to upload new version. Let's say some random file random file with the same name, that's it. Random file with the same name, random file with the same name. Okay, I'll try to upload it. Okay, same name, I'm trying to upload the same name. Okay, fine, same name, close it. Okay, so let's open this file, go to versions. You see, this is the delete marker, this is the delete marker, these are the previous versions. Okay, that means if you go and open this, you find the first version, you go and open this, you'll find the latest version. I mean, not the latest, second version. Okay, if you go and open, you won't find any information because this is delete marker. I mean, at this version, on top of this version, you performed a delete on top of this version, right? In the second version, when you have the version 1 in the file, you perform a delete marker, so that's why delete. So that's why you have a delete marker here, it says delete marker. Okay, so that's why you're able to see. Now this is the current version which you uploaded now, current version. Okay, random file, you put any random file with the same name, then you will be able to access the previous versions and all. Okay, so that's how you will keep your data safe without deleting. Even though deleted, you will be able to access it. Okay, now let's quickly move on to our life cycle policies. Okay, that is this management, the management life cycle rules. Okay, life cycle rules. Create some random rule, TST, life cycle rule. Okay, sorry for the spelling mistake. Okay, so apply to all objects or limit the scope. So limit the scope in the sense, let's say if it starts with ABC, let's say folder, let's say you have a folder, uh, ABC folder, and inside that you have this thing, or you can use the suffix as well, but here it's not providing any suffix. Add a filter to limit the scope of this rule to single prefix. That's what it's saying. It's asking only for the prefix, but some places you will be asked with the suffix as well. Prefix, right? Simple. Prefix means like folder name. Simple folder name. So do I have any folder name here? No, right? So that's why I won't be able to provide any folder name here. Even though provide, it won't take it. Maybe it will take it, but it won't do anything. Okay. But if you have a folder name created, then you can provide that folder name here. Then all the objects inside that folder will be applied this rule, this life cycle rules. Okay. Now you have current version, you know it. Now you got an idea what is current version, what is non-current. So expire current versions, permanently delete non-current versions, or delete expired object, delete markers. Okay, delete markers. Now you understand that what is delete marker, what is non-current version, what is current version. Let's say non-current versions. After some time, maybe now, maybe immediately within 1 week or so, I might need that non-current version. But in future, let's say these non-current versions are not needed for me, not needed. Then what I will do is I will put this into standard IA. I told you, right? Order standard IA, intelligent tiring, one zone IA, glacier, deep arcade, and all these things, right? So standard IA. Um, then I will put this into standard IA within 30 days. Okay. Then you can specify the number of versions as well. For now, you can go with without versions. Okay. Now you have still have this standard IA. Now after standard IA, you have this only these options. You will never be able to put it back into the standard IA. I mean, once it is done, then you will never be able to access that option. Now you have intelligent tiring. Maybe somehow you are unable to decide after standard IA, you are unable to decide where to put this. Then you can select this and intelligent tiring. Okay, intelligent tiring and put in this intelligent tiring for 12 days. Let's say. Okay, after transition, but again, go and see. You can see if you are unable to access this standard IA or not this intelligent tiring, right? And directly after these days, you wanted to put it into deep archive. That's it. Go and put it. Go and put it into deep archive within 20 days. Okay, now that's it. You won't be able to, once you hit the deep archive, you won't be able to do anything. Maybe you put it in instant retrieval, you still have this option, deep archive. Okay, deep archive, you still have the option. But if you directly put this deep archive here, um, let me remove this. You directly put into deep archive, and that's it. You won't be able to access any option here. Okay, either you put in deep uh, that's our order: instant, flexible, and deep archive. If you're directly putting in deep archive, then you'll never be move this file back into this instant retrieval. Okay, so the moment you put into that deep archive, that means deepest archive, that means you are telling that I will never going to access this file, but just keep it inside the deep archive. Maybe in future, if I need, I will request you, then within 24 hours give me that file, I will go and access it. That's what you're saying in the deep archive. Now it will think that okay, whenever you ask, I will give you. That's it. But it won't do that after put it in deep archive for 10 days. After again move it to instant retrieval or standard IV, it won't happen. The moment you hit the deep archive, that's it. It will be in deep archive. You won't be able to change it. Okay, just do that. Now if you see on day zero, day zero object becomes non-current. Today the object, right, one object became non-current because I uploaded the second ABC version, right? That became non-current. Okay, on day zero today, within 12 days, the newest non-current versions are retained. Okay, and all other non-current versions, no version is retained. So zero newest non-current means no version. If you put one non-current, let's say you have 10 non-current versions, out of that first non-current version is will be retained, rest 9 will be moved here. But in this case I put 0. That means if I put this let's say one version. Okay, uh, it's not changing. I think here I need to put. Okay, so if you see on day 0 object becomes non-current. Okay, and day 12 this all other non current versions move to intelligent diary. Okay, intelligent diary, and one newest versions are retained. Okay, That means one non-current version will be retained, but rest all 9 non-current versions are moved into intelligent hiring. Okay, and day 20, zero newest non-current versions are retained. Okay, and all other non-current versions move to glacier deep archive. Deep archive. Okay, and day 30, one newest non-current versions are retained. Okay, so why this happened is, you see, I gave the this number of days like this, right? So always go with this way. So let's say within 10 days do this. Okay, within 20 days do this, within 30 days do this, proper order. Okay, see, on the 10 days, one newest concurrent versions are retained. Now all other non-concurrent versions are moved to standard IA. Perfect. On day 20, newest non-current versions are retained. Okay, one will be retained, and all other non-current versions move to intelligent hiring. Okay, on day 30, none will be retained. Okay, all non-current versions are moved into glacier deep archive. You create this rule. That's it. No, what was the issue? Minimum number of 30 days is required before transitioning to just 30 days, minimum 30 days. Okay, and intelligent hiring must be at least 30 more than the value of standard IA. That means let's say 31. Okay, now as the 31, let's put some 32. Okay, I think now it will work again. Okay, I need to acknowledge this. Perfect. Okay, again it's showing an issue. It's a 34, 40. The integer value for intelligent hiring must be at least 30 more than the value of, let's say, 60, and you need to put it into 65. Okay, 65. So this is the order, proper order. Maybe let's say 90. Now then on day 30, day 0 object became non-current, day 30 moved into standard IA, day 60 moved into intelligent hiring, day 90 moved into clash departure. That's it. Create rule. Okay, so it, the rule got created, so it's automatically do this movement and all. Okay, I cannot show you this demo now because it says 30 days and all, right? So you cannot see this thing. Okay, um that's it for this Sri. Okay, this is what we discussed on the same you are unable to see the screen, right? So in the same class, this is what we are discussing. So hope these details help you, or just try to practice this thing. Okay, that will be good. Okay, um okay, that's it. Now let's move on to IAM roles. Okay, still have time, right? Yeah, IAM roles. Okay, so far, any doubts, anything? See, never rely on this like you, I know you are going to say that we'll watch the video and we will practice something, but it's always good if you ask doubts in the same class. Okay, so after going home you will start seeing the video and you got disturbed and all these things. But if you have any doubts, just ask right here. Even it's not the valid one, but still fine, just try to put it up. That's it. Okay, okay, that's it. It's up to you whether you wanted to ask questions, learn from the mistakes and all. It's up to you. Okay, fine. Let's move on to this IAM roles now. Any doubts? Any
Uh,
doubts?
no doubts.
Fine, fine, fine. Cool. Okay, so now let's move on to, yeah, someone. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, let's move on to IAM roles. Okay, what is IAM? Okay, what is IAM? Identity access management, which we already discussed yesterday. Now we are going to see the live session on what is IAM roles and all. Okay, so let's take this. Okay, in this we have these things: user groups, user roles, policies, identity, all these things. What are all these things? Access reports, we will never going to use it, ignore that. But these things we are going to use it. What are those things? Okay, simple, simple. Be attentive, simple. So this AWS account, this 3188 account, I want every one of you to access it, all five of you. Okay, but I'm not okay to give my credentials. I'm a root user to this AWS account, right? I'm a root user. I do not want to give the all the credentials to you. Okay, now what I will do is I will create the users to this AWS account. Click on user. If you see, this is the option user. I already created this user. Okay, I'll show you how to create it. Let me delete this thing. Okay, so it will get deleted. Okay, now create it. Click on create user. username. Let's go with some random name. Let's say Arun. Okay, so Arun, provide user access to this control, and I have two options here: auto generate password, custom password. Let's go with the custom password, and here the password I will give as Arun the rate 123. You see the password, this is what it is. Okay, 123. And next, users must create a new password at next sign in recommended. But if the moment Arun logs in, he needs to set up some password, but I do not want that to happen, but I will leave it as it is. Okay, now put on next. Okay, um okay, so cancel this, just cancel this. Now add user to group. So if you wanted to add any permissions or any policies or any things you wanted to assign to this user, you can attach that user to this group. But we do not have any groups here. Okay, so maybe you create a group, click on some group, create some admin policy. I am giving administrator access for Arun. Okay, administrator access. Okay, I'm giving administrator access to Arun. I just create an user group. User group was not created. Must contain any alphabetic. Wait. Group name. Let's say test group. Okay, administrator access, create user group. User group is created. Now I will add this thing to Arun. Okay, now click on next. Okay, I just added that group, Arun, to that group. Okay, now Arun will get all, inherit all the policies and all the settings, whatever that part of that group is. As a student, let's say Arun is a student now. Let's go back. Maybe let's do it that way. This group, right? This group, let me read this group. Okay, student group, student group. Okay, so save changes. I just created a student group. Okay, now if I refresh this, it's a student group. I'll select this student group. Now Arun, I'm adding Arun to a student group. That means what are the permissions, policies, and all these things will have for the student group, Arun will automatically get those things. I do not want it to go and create everything one by one. Okay, Arun will directly go and get this thing. Okay, so now click on next. Okay, so you need to change the user password, which because I mentioned that, right? He needs to change the password. He needs to he added to this standard group. Because student group, this is not there, but it's still coming up. Maybe it will go through, go away once we add this. Okay, so now project name demo one, right? Demo one. I'm creating the user. Okay, now I'll take this. Okay, so Arun, you guys won't be able to share your screen, right? That's fine. I will try to log in as a Arun. Okay, Control Shift. Okay, enter. That's the link, right? I got it from here. I'm doing it in the incognito. Okay, incognito. Let's take this. So I copy the password and Arun is the username. Okay, I will just remember that. Okay, so Arun is the username. Take the password. Okay, password is Arun at the rate 123. Sign in. Okay, now it was asking for the password reset. You see, password reset. Okay, this is the password. We'll reset to Arun at the rate 183. Arun at the rate 183. Okay, we'll confirm the password change. Now it might ask me to log in again. Is it asking or no? Okay, fine. It's not asking. Maybe next time when I log in, it will ask that password. Okay. Now see, this is the user. You see here. You see here. Let me go here. If you remember in AP South -1, I mean Mumbai, I created a bucket. Let's see Arun has that access or not. Let me open the S3. See, Arun has this access. That means for now I haven't restricted anything. I haven't restricted anything. The same account, same account. Okay, same account. If you see account ID, I am user Arun. But if you go and see my access, okay, same account order, you are not seeing any I am user here. That means this is a root. Okay, this is the root user. I'm the root user. That's why you're not seeing anything here. But in case of Arun, it's an I am user. Okay, and if I wanted to restrict all the access for the Arun in here, I can do that. Okay, so this is how you create an IAM user, and this is how now Arun can log in this account. Okay, and Arun can start using whatever he wanted to do in this account, but depends on the like access and all he has. Okay, let's try to see if he has any access and all. I gave admin access, so that mostly he will have all the access. Admin means the highest access. Okay, so that's why he will have all access mostly. Yeah, he will have all the access mostly because I gave him an admin role. But if I gave him some normal role, some DevOps role, developer role, something, some extra other role, then he won't have this much privilege. Okay, so that's it. That's how you create an account. Okay, don't worry, I'll delete this. And if you do not want that person to access it, I mean, let's say I do not want Arun to access these details again. For temporary, I created this. Now what I will do is I'll simply go there. Okay, I'll simply go there and go here and delete this user. That's it. Now Arun will never be able to access this thing, this AWS account with the credentials which I shared now. So this is a public platform. I share the details with you, but I do not want somehow someone might misuse this, right? Maybe not only Arun, someone out of you, like other than Arun, someone also can access this thing, right? If you have the credentials and all. So that's why I will restrict this thing. Then I will just delete this thing. Okay, that's how you create a user. Okay, users. Now roles. Now roles. Okay, role means let's say. mm, okay, let's say there are two people. I'm very bad at drawing. Okay. Person one. Let me try drawing. No problem. Okay. 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 So he is a. This is person one. Okay. Person two. Okay. Now this is my AWS account. Okay, AWS account. If this person is wanted to access this thing, okay, here let's say I have S3, here I have Lambda, here I have Glue. Okay, if this person is trying to access these services in this AWS account, a person one and person two, I want person one to go and access this S3, only S3. Okay, person two to go and access this Lambda. But the Glue, I'm not giving access to anyone. Okay, so how you can do is you can restrict the access via the IAM roles. IAM roles. Okay, let's try to see IAM role. Create a role. Just click on create a role. Okay, I'm coming back. Just open this roles tab. Okay, just click on this create role. That's it, create role. And the moment you create, then you have these options: AWS service, AWS account, web identity, SAML 2.0 federation, custom trust policy, and all these things. Okay, this things, web identity, these things you're never going to use. AWS account, I told you, right? If someone from different AWS account trying to access the anything in this bucket, then use this AWS account. That's it. You need to provide another AWS account here, account ID, and require MFA or whatever you need. Okay, but for now let's go inside this AWS service. Okay, inside this AWS service, click on this AWS service, choose the use case. Let's say let's say S3. Okay, S3, click on S3. Use case is S3. So I'm creating this IAM role for S3. Okay, so choose a use case for specific service S3. Click next. What are the access you wanted to provide? S3 level search for S3. I can provide Amazon S3 full access, S3 outpost, read only, table access. Let's say I will provide read only access. Okay, read only access. Next. Okay, this is the role. I'm creating this role. Role name will be tst hyphen S3 RO role RLE hyphen S3 read only. Okay, so read only access. Okay, this role I created. Okay. Mm, now I wanted to show a demo, right? Let me create this user. I might have not deleted this, but I deleted. That's fine. So now before that, let me go to the group, user group. For this user group, let me assign a role. Okay, and permissions, attach policies. Okay, I created a RLE. No, it's not coming up. I gave the administrator access, right? So what I will do is I will remove this administrator access. I'll remove this administrator access. Okay, I'll add a permission. I'm show you how to create a add a permission. Okay, read only access. S3 read only access. Okay, I gave only this permission. Attach policies. Okay, I gave this permission for this user group. Now any one part of this user group, it will have only this S3 read only policy. Okay, S3 read only access. Okay, now let's go to users. Create a user. Username will be, now let's say Ravi. Okay, this is my username. Okay. Custom password will be star123. I do not need to create a new password once I log in. Okay, next. Okay, I'm just adding to the student group. Next, create user. Okay, so now I'll take this link and try to sign it in the incognito. Okay, so I'll copy this link. Okay, then it will ask me for the username and password. Okay, I already have these details. Okay, click on next. Okay, I will logged in here. Fine. Now, which access I have? I do not have the this admin access. I have only which access? I have only the read-only
Read
access.
only.
SL read-only access. Right. So if I go here and try to access, let's say I wanted to access this Amazon IM roles, IM roles. It won't allow me. Okay. So it won't allow me to do anything in this IM role. Okay. So if you see here, it's asking for give just it's a kind of tutorial. Okay. Mm, see, access denied to IIM. See, I got this access denied. Am I allowed to do anything here? No. Earlier I was able to do it, but now let's see. Let me open S3. Okay, in S3, I gone here. Okay, I'll try to do something in S3. This bucket I'm opening. Okay, fine. Okay, so let's try to delete this bucket. This folder. Okay, see, see the error. Failed to delete table below. Why? Because access denied. Access denied. You see, right? Access denied. I do not have that permission to do so. Okay, this is how you are going to restrict. With these policies, what was the access I gave here? It was an read-only access, right? Read-only access. Because of read-only access, I won't be able to do it. If I give the admin access, then I will be able to delete all the perform all the operations. But as I gave the read-only access, I won't be able to do these kind of things in the account. Okay, fine. Now you understand, right, how roles will affect. Okay, now same thing. We just showed you between the users, but I will just try to show you between the these services. AWS, I told you, right? Service 1, service 2, service 3, service 4, right? Services. Lambda is a service, S3 is a service. Anything you see in AWS is a service. Okay, for your information, I shared a screenshot right yesterday. All those are services provided by AWS. And now, if any one service out of the services which I gave you, let's say I gave you some 10 or 15 services, right? Out of those 15 services, if any one service wanted to communicate with the other service, it needs the permission. And how you are going to provide that permission? Via this IAM roles and IAM policies. Okay, IAM roles and policies. Policies means just a part of the role. Okay, so role means like you will create a role, and that role will be this let's say service AWS Lambda. Okay, Lambda can assign that role, can assume that role. Okay, so policy it cannot assume directly. It should come via some role. Okay, so you cannot, let's say, as you are a student, you're part of student, right? You should be given a student role, right? Not the student policies directly. Okay, you should be, all the student policies should be attached to. If you see here, this read only policy, I need to attach to this user group, student group. Then only that everyone who is, any person who is going to assume that role will have that access. But if I'm giving it the policies, it won't be possible. Okay, so that's why first we will try to create a role. Okay, so you go here and create a role. Okay, AWS service. Okay, in the AWS service, as I do not have AWS account, I'm unable to do it. But other these things we need to extra details and all, web identity, SAML, custom trust policy. But for now, go with the AWS service. Okay, in AWS service, let's say S3. But before doing anything, let's try to do one demo, and then we'll see. Okay. Properties. I think in the properties there will be event notification. See, this is the event notification. I told you, right? Everything is an event in AWS. Everything is an event. That's we know. That we got to know. Let's click on this create event notification. Let's create some event. Okay, tst hyphen event. That's it. Okay, any all object creation. Any object is created. Put, post, copy, multi-part of anything. Any part of object creation. Just have this thing. Okay, just trigger the event. Okay, so what way I want to do? I want to trigger an SNS topic. Okay, so what is SNS topic? Let me open an SNS, simple notification service. Okay, let me take this. Okay, uh, there is this SMS. So this is the starting page. Now you click here, go to the dashboard. And this is the dashboard. Okay, there are zero topics, zero platform, zero. So I will go to the topics. Okay, there is no topic. I will create a topic. Topic will be test demo is a topic. Okay, demo object creation. Let's say object put, or object put. Let's say. Okay, so display name will be S3 object upload. Okay, S3 object upload. Let's go this one. Okay, you create this topic. That's it. Okay, I created this topic. Okay, now topic is created. Now who will receive messages? So see, subscriptions is 0. We go and create a subscription. Okay, so let's say, let's use the email subscription. Topic care and pension policy. So let's go and use email. Okay, so my email will be, this is my email. Okay, I'll just create a subscription. What does it says? No. Maybe I created a wrong subscription, something. That's why it was not allowing me. What is this topic? Okay, I shouldn't be creating this thing before. Okay, I'm giving first in, first out. It should work. There, and is this create a subscription. Pension policy, active subscription filter policy. Right, it's supposed to be not this. Okay, let me try to create one more topic. Some standard. Okay, so maybe I need to give this standard demo object put SNS topic. Okay, so display name will be S3 object upload. Okay, encryption, I'm not doing access policy, data retention, delivery status message alone. Let's ignore all these things for now. Go to topic, take this. Okay, create subscription. Okay, so now let's go to see, you have email here, right? So let's try to provide my email ID. Okay, so let's create a subscription. Now See pending confirmation. If you see the moment I added to I subscribed this thing, right, this email, it was saying that pending confirmation, right. Let me quickly go and get it uploaded, right. So just give me a moment. See, this is how I received this email, right. So this is the confirmation email, so I'll just confirm this subscription. Okay, subscription confirm. That means where is this SMS topic, where are you? So this is SMS topic. See, if I refresh this, it should be pending confirmed, right? So let me click this again. So it's confirmed now. That means I subscribe to this topic now. Fine. Now this topic ARN, right? I will take this. I will open this. Okay. This is the ARN. Okay. This is the topic ARN, and this is kind of unique identifier. ARN means unique identifier in AWS. Okay. So for anything, any this ARN is a unique identifier. If you wanted to call this thing, either you call it with the name, but this what is this, this AWS will never get to know what is that thing. But if you provide this ARN, it will be unique identifier. It's kind of a ID card. Okay, so let's have this. Okay, then let's go and give an SNS topic here. So for now you are not able to see any SNS topic, but if I paste it here, maybe I need to refresh this thing. Let me quickly refresh. Okay, okay, it is this event notification, get event notification. Okay, test event, all object get events. Okay, I'm putting into SNS topic. If I go here, I will be able to see these topics now. I just refreshed. Okay, so SNS topic, just save changes, that's it. Okay, now um, now let's go here and put some file here. Okay, some file, upload some file, random file, any file, AWS S3. Okay, then let's uploading this. Okay, now it's supposed to send as a mail. It is supposed to send as a mail. Let's go and see. See, Amazon S3 notification. See, service, Amazon S3, event, test event, okay, time, object, and all these details. If you go and see here, somewhere it's supposed to provide the file name and all as well. Um, Records, version, event source, AWS S3, AWS version, this event time, when this event happened. This is the UTC time zone, okay? Event name, object created, user identity, request parameters, request elements, Amazon ID. Yeah, you see, this is the key. See, key, Amazon plus s3.pdf. That means this object got uploaded. This object got uploaded. That's why I was able to get this Amazon S3 notification. You got it right? How we got this Amazon S3 notification? We got that, right? This is the event. Any event that happened, you will get those notifications. Okay, so this is simple demo which we did. Okay, in the same way you can go and create a lambda as well. Okay, so just create a function. Okay, this is lambda. Okay, by the way, you already know what is lambda and all right. So just go and open lambda. Okay, so create a function. um, Create a function name tst hyphen lambda. Okay, so here just go and give some python thing. Okay, it asking for default execution role. You have two options: either let it create the default execution role, or you create an execution role. Let it create the execution role for us. Okay, create a new role with basic lambda permissions, or use an existing role. It will ask for the existing role, but for now, as of now, I do not have any existing role. That's why I'm using this create a new role with basic lambda permissions. Okay, additional configurations, I do not want to change anything here, so that's why I'm going with asterisk. Okay, create function. Okay, um it's creating now. Come on. Okay, it got created now. Lambda got created. Fine, perfectly fine. Okay, lambda is created. Now I do not want to do anything here. What I want to do is, I just wanted to, the moment anyone uploaded a file, I wanted to trigger my lambda. For now, trigger a lambda, but later let's see. The moment anyone uploads a file, let's try to process that file. Those kind of things we'll see, but for now let's try to trigger the lambda. That's it. Okay, um let's try to print event comma context. Okay, for now context won't do anything, but the moment you say anything in lambda, you need to deploy this code. Deploy means this code will be in the background, it will be pushed into some machine and all. Okay, you need to click on deploy. I mean, I know we are bit fast. I'm pretty sure, but I'm just introducing you to these concepts. That's it. But later we will do some demos, right? Then you'll understand much better. Okay, so let's go here. Let's go here and let's go to this Vision S3. This is S3 bucket and all. Hmm. So let's go to this bucket. Okay. So now let's go to properties, and here let's create one more event notification. So test event 2. Okay, so let's go with all obligate things. Okay, let's go here, and here I will lambda function. What is the lambda function I have? So lambda Aaron I need to give here. Where is this test lambda Aaron? Okay, see, this is the function Aaron. I'll copy this Aaron. I told you, right? Aaron. Earlier we copy paste the topic Aaron. Now I'm pasting the lambda Aaron. Okay, Aaron. Save changes. The region on the Aaron does not match the bucket region. So that means we're supposed to create this lambda function in the same region. Okay, that's a catch. That means we're supposed to create in Mumbai, AP-South-1. Now let's go to lambda again. Okay, let's try to create function. Okay, let's try to create function, and it shows North California, but we're supposed to create it in the Mumbai. Where is this Mumbai? Click on Mumbai. Okay, so now other from the scratch again. Test lambda -1. Okay, just give some Python. Mostly we'll go with Python only. Okay, so this architecture is fine, 64-bit or 32-bit, it's fine. So existing role, you have any? We have one which lambda just now created, right? That existing role I'm just selecting create function. Okay, so for now I just created a function. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, let's go here and choose from the lambda. Now I'm still unable to see. Let this time also print event. Okay, I'm just deploying this code as usual. I'm just copying this ARN. Okay, just go here to the ARN here, lambda function ARN. Just save changes. Unknown error. The error persists. Configuration of the same bucket cannot share a common event type. That means same time you cannot create two events. That's what it's saying. So if one event happened, you cannot trigger two things, two events. That's what it says. So then let's go and delete this or edit this. Okay. So in the same, let's go with the lambda function. Okay, lambda function. So now it will be possible. So for same event, you cannot trigger the two different services. Okay, that's what it says for same event. Okay, now the event got created. Okay, now if you go and refresh this lambda, okay, go and refresh this lambda, you'll see a magic. See, you got the S3 here. But earlier, if you observe, it was not there. It was only plain add ticker. But now, the moment you triggered it, you got an S3 here. Okay, that means the moment anything happened in this, if you click here S3, okay, if you go to the details, okay, any object created happened, then it will automatically trigger your lambda. I'll show you. I'll show you how it will happen. Okay, just go here. I know you might a bit confused on this thing. Let's not create folder. Let's upload a file. Upload a file. Okay, that's it. Let me do this. Okay, now uploaded a file. Now it's supposed to go and trigger lambda. Let's see, monitor, go and monitor this lambda. Okay, let's see, let's wait for this. I'm just trying to monitor it. Okay, just go test monitor. So just clicking on the monitor tab, but I'm just introducing how it happens in the real time. Okay, maybe tomorrow let's try to deep dive into this lambda console and all, but for now let's try to understand how these things happen. Okay, where is this lambda? Come on. You will see here. Okay, invocations, lambda invocations and all. In case of any failures or anything also, you will be able to see it here. So it's not possible. Group doesn't even exist. Okay, fine. So wait for the moment. Sometimes it will take some time. Okay, it won't happen. Lambda triggering won't happen immediately. It says lock group is not found. Okay, see, you see here, right? This one. Now let's click on this view CloudWatch logs. I told you, right? CloudWatch logs, if you remember yesterday, CloudWatch is for anything that happened inside your service, right? If you wanted to see whatever happened, what are the things happening in your service, you can use this CloudWatch logs. Okay, but it says um, it says this CloudWatch log is not even present here. That's what it says, but it's supposed to be present, but somehow it was not present. But if you see here, you see here this small dot, right? Invocation. That's what it says, invocation. Okay, so if you go and see, it got invoked here. It see, if you see, this ran for at least I think 1 minute or so. It got invoked and it ran for as well. It completed successful as well. But I'm trying to show you how the output looks like. Okay, maybe this same name we used or something, so that's why it's unable to create an log groups. It unable to create a log group. Okay, fine. But for now, if you go and see here, I'm unable to show you this how it got triggered and all. But tomorrow class I'll try to show you how the triggering looks like and all. But for now, if you observe here properly, wait, let me do one thing. See, for now you see here count one only, right? One only. Let me put like if you see uh, how many invocations done till now, only one invocation. Let me put one more invocation. I'll show you one more invocation how it happens, but tomorrow I'll show you more appropriate things. Okay, let me put this again. Okay, we go and sit, try to refresh this. So every 10 seconds it will automatically refresh. Okay, let's see. I wanted to see invocations as 2. If you clearly observe here, it's 1 now. Let's see 2. We're supposed to see 2 here. Let's see. Invocation sum is equal to 1. Remember this, okay? It will take bit time, at least 1 or 2 minutes. Let's see. Okay. So other than this, let's wait for this thing. Meanwhile, as we are waiting for this, like any other doubts. So that's it for today's class. I hope you got at least some idea. I mean, some idea means, see, you see, sum became 2. You see sum became 2 here, and if you see 51.16 milliseconds, something happened, right? Something happened here, but what happened, how it happened and all, we will discuss tomorrow class. But yeah, at least for now, if someone uploaded this file, right, someone uploaded this file, your lambda is triggering for now. At least you try to practice this thing if possible, if okay, because it seems to be, it's really interesting. Okay, so just try to practice this thing. Okay, but why I showed this example only, why I showed this example is, currently the project I told you right yesterday, inventory and movement data, like in the car company and something, right? So this is what we are doing currently. So that's why I told you this. So this is what we do as a real data engineer. Okay, so that's why I showed you this. But tomorrow I'll show you more details. Okay, how to trigger glue, how to trigger and all, so those things. Okay, I hope this is fine. Just let me know in case you have any doubts. Any doubts so far?
No, sir.
No doubts.
Okay, cool then. Fine. Thanks for the